What's up? My name is Casey. This is the Oracle Podcast. And today, your prophecy is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Season 2, Episodes 4 and 5. Let's go. These are the best two episodes of Percy Jackson and the Olympians I've ever seen. Personally, I think that it is more fun than I have ever had in anything. So again, I really do think that it's amazing. Man, I really just want to shout out my absolute love for Percy Jackson and the Olympians. The amount of fun that I've had watching this show has been astronomical. The absolute, I don't know, it's been so good. I just absolutely cannot believe how much fun I have watching this show. One of the best parts about this show is the characters. They are doing an absolute justice to the characters of Percy, Annabeth, and Clarice. I do think that some of the best parts of these episodes are the character interactions, like Percy perfectly distracting Clarice, whether that was planned or not with Annabeth. Percy got right on board with it, and Annabeth took full advantage in the fourth episode, where and Annabeth, like, very wisely is like, "Hey, listen, I'm a strategist, and Percy is a great navigator on the sea. Like, you need us to navigate the sea of monsters." And Clarice is like, this is the guy who navigated this is like one of Napoleon's top strategists, and this is someone from the Confederate Navy, or this is like someone from the U.S. Navy, and like this is like a bunch of other stuff, and it's really just people going absolutely hog wild on it. So I do think that that is a really fun addition to that. I think that Clarice's crew having different groups of people in it is really fun because it adds a little bit of more, I don't know, it humanized them a little bit more before they got absolutely torn to shreds. And it also humanized them after because Clarice is getting humanized more. And then the fight with Scylla is absolutely amazing. I think that the allegory for the Odyssey is going so well because Clarice and Annabeth are having the exact conversations that they should when you are forced to choose between Scylla and Charybdis. Because what is the right choice? Is it right to likely lose your whole crew and your vessel and everything that you've worked for up to this point to try and get past the one monster? Or is it right to sacrifice 6 of your crew to this monster in order to get the rest of your crew past? It's this moral quandary that I think is such an interesting decision that they have to make. And again, Percy is further learning that that's not how the Sea of Monsters works. They are further learning that it's not just you can sail around them or you can sail past things. You have to face the obstacles and you have to face the trials in the Sea of Monsters, or else you won't make it through. And I think that that is a really cool way of doing that. So I think that's really fun. Another thing that I really love about the fourth episode is the way that it ends. I love the way that Percy is holding the ship together. He's using his powers to try and do that. And the teamwork that is displayed between Percy, Annabeth, and Tyson in trying to hold the ship together is incredible because they are making those choices. And then and Annabeth's speech about human choices is incredible as well. The flashbacks to Luke, Thalia, and Annabeth when they were younger are amazing. The bracelet's sweet. The little hints at Rainbow are sweet. I think that the fourth episode is so good. Like I keep thinking of more things that I want to talk about with it because it is just such an incredible episode. One of my favorite things is they bring back I talked about my love for the sea shanty that they sing in the last episode, but the sea shanty is absolutely amazing. It absolutely bops. If you guys don't know my love for sea shanties by this point, I think it's time to get on board because sea shanties do rule. They're actually sweet. I really think that that is one of the strongest moments because it really does like humanize them, and it's a great easy change and adaptation that would make sense for this crew of sailors and people who are captaining this vessel to continue to sing a sea shanty about Elysium and sing it more enthusiastically after they have been properly motivated by Clarice. I think Clarice's arc towards leadership is really cool because, again, I think that less so in Greek times, but more in Roman times, Ares is like a more militarily sound leader. Like in Greek times, he was more of a anarchist, the fervor of war and the frenzy of battle. He's like the thrill, like if you guys have read the Stormlight Archives, he is like Odium or like the thrill in the Stormlight Archives, where he basically is an embodiment of chaos and of battle lust and of whereas in Roman times, when he's Mars, he is closer to what Athena is in Greek times. He's a competent military leader. So I think that it is kind of cool to see Clarice kind of embody the side of him that is closer to that. Another thing that I absolutely loved about episode 4 is how ambiguous they make the ending. I think that that is a perfect way to end that episode, because at that point in the book, it is kind of a cliffhanger. They're leaving you. You don't know what happened to Percy. You don't know what happened to Annabeth. You don't know what happened to Clarice. You don't know what happened to Tyson. And they continue to draw that out further into this next episode because they don't show Tyson. And spoilers for anyone who has not read the books, which, again, blanket spoiler warning for this whole episode. If you haven't read the Percy Jackson Heroes of Olympus or Trials of Apollo books, then be sure to be cautious of this stream, because I am going to probably spoil some stuff, and I am going to probably spoil a few things that I probably shouldn't, but I just love this series so much. So I'm going to try to talk around spoilers as much as I can, but I probably will not do it perfectly. So spoiler warning on that. But no one is sure if Tyson made it out even after the end of the next episode. We don't see any glimpses of Tyson. Percy especially doesn't know if Tyson made it through. And that's a big part of the visions that he sees in Cersei's mirror, is he doesn't know if Tyson is alive or not. And so that is a huge part in his conflict and his self-conflict that he's going through, is he doesn't know whether or not Tyson made it out of that ironclad. And Cersei herself confirms that they are the only two survivors. So in their minds, they are the only two people who made it out of the ironclad. And I think that is such a cool point for them to be at, because, again, it's just so interesting and so fun. This is a great adaptation. I really enjoy the way that they are doing it, and I think that episode 4 especially embodies that, where the little changes that they made really help to enhance the story and really help to bring it together. I think that another thing that I really loved is Luke having a personal beef with Camp Half-Blood before he even goes is an incredible touch, because he talked about this in an interview, and spoilers, but Luke's beef with the camp is that his mom tried to become become the Oracle of Delphi and failed, and so she's having visions of Luke's future in the present time, and that is throwing her mind out of whack. So she is basically crazy, and that's why he ran away from home. And so obviously he has a little bit of resentment towards camp and towards the people at camp because of that. And so he naturally shows a little bit of that anger and that rage that he likely has for a good reason towards Camp Half-Blood at this point. So he is not super thrilled about going to Camp Half-Blood at this point, because his mom was like, even though she was highly discouraged, like, and even though he is likely wrong for having those feelings, it is very understandable for him to have those feelings, because he is a young child. Like, he's a high school aged kid at this point. He also has the greatest emo haircut that I've ever seen. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. Anyway, that's besides the point. The point's over here. Naturally, the thing about it is that I think that Luke is very reasonable for having this kind of animosity towards camp, because he really has been done a serious wrong, in his mind at least, by camp, because they are partially responsible for driving his mom crazy and showing her visions of his future. So again, that is very interesting. And then we get to see a little bit of the Cyclops. Cyclopses abduct Annabeth, and Thalia come in and absolutely save the day. So I think that is incredible. I think that is just I mean, Thalia is so epic. and her British accent is sweet, and I don't want to hear anyone say it. But does that mean, and again, spoilers, but does that mean that Jason is going to have a British accent too? I kind of hope that he does. I think that would be kind of sweet. A British Jason. What is that going to be like? Percy continues to be hilarious, and also him and Clarice, their kind of rivalry but turned friendship is incredible. Percy and Clarice's conversation about Clarice asking Percy how he got through his quest alive is incredible because, again, it's all about friendship. And like Clarice saying, hey, my dad gave me a ship and a crew. I don't need friends. That's incredibly sad. But again, that's all Clarice. Like, that's 100% Clarice's MO. So I think that that's incredible. Clarice is incredible. Like, I really enjoy the direction that they've gone with Clarice. I initially was a little bit reluctant to enjoy her character just because of the way that she is portrayed in the books, and it's different to what is in the TV show. I think that that is potentially what some people are having a hang up on. I've gotten to the point where the changes that they are making are good. I think that the changes that they have made, especially in these last two episodes, are positive changes. I think that it, for time reasons, for efficiency of storytelling reasons, and for a myriad of other reasons, I think that these changes that they make to the stories are positive changes, and I have really enjoyed them so far. I really think that Percy Jackson and the Olympians show is being handled very well for what it is, and I am super excited to see it continue. And with that, I will continue into episode 5. We're over the halfway point in the show, and so like episode 5 rules. Episode 5 rules so hard. Percy and Annabeth wake up in Cersei's day spa and resort. And again, we meet Hilla. That's amazing. I'm pretty sure we get a glimpse of Reyna at one point. She's kind of skirting around the edge. I can't 100% confirm that, but I'm pretty sure of that. And I just absolutely adore these scenes. I love that we get to see Hilla and that she is named by name. Like they went out of their way. They're like, hey, you wanted her? You got her. Hilla is incredible. And so, side tangent here for a minute, but one of my biggest pitches is that Disney Plus has the rights, right? They own the rights to adapt Rick Riordan stuff, and I think that Rick Riordan would be on board for a few more adaptations of his property into shows or movies or whatever. I've talked about one before, but I'm going to talk about the second one right now. I would love to see an adaptation of Reyna and Hilla's rise to the top of their respective organizations. I would love to see Hilla rise the ranks of the Amazons and become their leader, and I would love to see Reyna grow up in Camp Jupiter and see her become the legendary prider that she is by the time that we meet her. Because by the time that we meet her, she is already a lot of the way through her arc, and I would like to see her start to grow and start to become a powerful member in the Legion, see her work her way up through it by the time that we re-meet him after the Lost Hero arc. I'm being incredibly optimistic here. I don't know if the Heroes of Olympus series is ever going to get adapted, but if Percy Jackson and the Olympians continues to be this good, it probably will. So I'm just hoping that they can maintain this type of quality and this retention time, because you're going to get people who are not just Percy Jackson fans to watch this show if you continue to make it this good. So there's that. But Percy Jackson and the Olympians is really good, and I want them to continue to make spinoffs. So the spinoff that I am encouraging now is a show following Reyna and Hilla as they rise the respective ranks. But again, that's another side tangent. My other one I really think is the best idea that I've ever had, and that is for Disney Plus to do an adaptation where the Hunters of Artemis are followed throughout eras of time, because they're immortal unless they are killed in battle or something like that. They are immortal. So you could follow them through the eras of time, all the way from the Titan War all the way up through modern times. So you could do a season, and in each season they're hunting a different great mythological beast, and that's kind of like the back burner story. But in the meantime, you're dealing with these different characters, and you're adding characters, and you're losing characters the whole way. And like in the first season, you could have them deal with Orion. In the second season, you could have them meet other people. Like you could do this whole overarching long story where it's an ensemble cast and people come in, people go out, but you can meet characters that are introduced in the Heroes of Olympus series, which I'm not going to talk fully about, mostly because I can't remember one gal's name. Anyway, you could meet those characters. You could meet characters from the medieval times, like and you could have the Hunters of Artemis fighting a draken in medieval times. You could have them going through like the 1920s, the 1930s. You could have them fight on like in the Revolutionary Wars. You could see them go from where the seat of power is in Rome or in Greece to Rome to uh to to Britain to Germany to like have it bounce all over, and you follow the Hunters of Artemis as they are going on adventures in each one of these places and eventually end up in America and do the whole thing. Like, I think that would be so incredible to follow. I think that would be amazing. But I want to hear what you guys think about that too. So tell me what you think about that idea and those two ideas for spin-off shows. But I've done enough rambling. Let's talk about the episode that we're here to talk about in Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Season 2, Episode 5. Cersei is perfect. I love how they have continued to make her into a sympathetic character. They continue to make the monsters and the antagonists more sympathetic in this show because they aren't just blundering, bloodthirsty monsters. They are these sympathetic characters, which is more true to the mythology and makes for more compelling TV and movies when your villains aren't just bloodthirsty monsters. They have compelling reasons. So Cersei is this incredibly lonely woman who continues to be abandoned by the people in her life and the people who come to visit her on her island. It's giving her more of a Calypso type of vibe, which again, we'll get to that at some point. I'm so excited to get to like the third and fourth seasons of this show. The fourth season is going to absolutely rock so hard, but again, can't get into that. Can't get into that yet. Percy Jackson and the Olympians is so good. You guys need to watch it if you haven't been watching it. It's so good. Besides, I'm getting off topic once again. Yeah, Percy Jackson and the Olympians is absolutely elite, and this episode is elite because Cersei uses the sirens as kind of this litmus test to see whether heroes are ready to go on their quest or not. And that's kind of the change that they've made to this part to kind of condense these two parts of the book into one. And I think that this is an excellent change, efficiently telling the story of the two parts in a way that makes it more efficient storytelling wise. So we get introduced to Hela, we get introduced to Calypso, and then we get introduced to another gal. And it's kind of set up that, okay, you have to go through this whole course and you have to go through these whole lessons that that Cersei is instructing and teaching you on how to get past these sirens, because the sirens are kind of guarding her cove. And so you have to eventually leave and get through the sirens and not be tempted by their songs. And so Cersei is kind of teaching the this course on how to get past them and trying to help the heroes improve. But what she's not telling you is that her courses won't help you. You need this magical beeswax that she is hiding, that she has some of, to get past them. And so the sirens are basically her way of keeping people there and keeping people in her home. And every time that everyone starts to lose hope, she cheats. She gives a hero a little bit of the beeswax, the magical beeswax that she has, and lets them get past the sirens so that they can escape and that people continue to not lose hope. And that's so cool. Like, that's such a fun addition. I think that is really cool. And then Percy threatens to expose her secret if she doesn't let Annabeth pass, because Percy, again, is being the best friend / early boyfriend vibes at this point. Percy is letting Annabeth go through, and he is willing to stay. But Cersei then, after Percy threatens her, she turns him into a guinea pig. Excellent. And he is in with the other guinea pigs of the men there. So I think that this is another fun change to it. It isn't just sexist towards all the men. She doesn't just turn all the men into guinea pigs. She only turns like people who can't keep her secret. So I think that, again, that is such a fun addition to and change to the existing canon that is amazing. Like, I don't know how they keep getting away with it. It's such a good change. So I think that's a wonderful change. And did I mention that Percy and Annabeth are absolutely dripped out this whole episode? It's so fun to watch them be absolutely like Percy decked out in a chiton and Annabeth decked out in a dress, and like they are both looking absolutely stunning. So again, props to the wardrobe department and everything. They look absolutely amazing. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that Cersei looks amazing. Like, she looks great in this whole episode, and that's amazing. But after Annabeth slowly comes to the realization that the guinea pigs are the pigs from Cersei's original story. So she finds the multivitamins like she does and spills them into the pen with the guinea pigs, and they all come to life. And we get a little bit of some fan service there in the best possible way. We get Percy had befriended a guinea pig named Eddie, and he is Edward Teach, aka Blackbeard, and he gives Percy a share of the spoils, aka the celery. It's like, it's giving me goosebumps just talking about, because that's such a fun that's such a Percy Jackson moment from this show, and it's so good. I can't believe that we're seeing this on screen, and I can't believe that it's not a roller coaster. Why was it a roller coaster? I hate it. Movies are so bad. Why was it a roller coaster? Anyway, Jackson and the Olympians show is so good. I'm gonna keep saying it because I have to snap myself into this reality. We are in a timeline where we got a good Percy Jackson and the Olympian show, and I am so happy for that and so grateful for that. We're in a new year, and Percy Jackson and the Olympians is good. Percy and Annabeth sail out on the island, and try and get past the sirens. And Percy, it's backwards from what happens in the book, because Percy elects to be tied up to the mast while Annabeth remains untied and puts the wax in her ears. But this time, it's not her wanting to find out what her fatal flaw is. Cersei revealed their fatal flaw to them, which is cool. Again, we get to hear her say the iconic line about Percy, that he would destroy the world to save his friends. And that part was absolutely gave me goosebumps as well. Like, they're cooking. They're absolutely cooking. They call them the cooks because they are absolutely cooking with this show. But back to the sirens, Percy is tied to the mast, and Annabeth decides to take it upon herself that she thinks that she can beat the sirens. So she goes on the island, and in her vision, she imagines that she tricks the sirens, and she imagines that she stabs two of them, and the third one is still alive and like attacks her, but Athena comes down and saves her at the last moment. The double twist here is that it isn't Athena coming down and saving her. It is a vision within a vision. The sirens conjured up this whole illusion to make it seem like she had defeated the two, but really she hadn't defeated any of them, and this was all a part of the vision in the first place. So it was playing into her pride and her arrogance that she thought that she could defeat them, and she only gets saved because Percy, when he sees Annabeth, the only thing that could possibly make him not care about what the sirens were saying, he was able to save her and pull her back onto the ship. And they were able to sail out, and they see Polyphemus's island off in the distance, and that's how they end the episode. But at the same time that we were seeing another story. Clarice washes up on the shore of Polyphemus's island, and she sees the golden fleece up on the top of the mountain, and she's immediately caught in a trap. It is almost hilarious. And so Polyphemus comes, takes her, and puts her in the same cave with Grover. And and Clarice is very gung-ho about, okay, well, I need to sharpen this stick into a spear. But Grover eventually convinces her to work together with him to turn the net that Polyphemus brought her in into a rope ladder and to be able to escape using the tree that is holding the golden fleece. So they're trying to do that. It inevitably ends up failing, and they're both taken captive by Polyphemus. And It is revealed here that this is another change for the book, that Polyphemus is a lot smarter than Grover and everyone was giving him credit for. He realized that Grover was not a female Cyclops. He realized that he was a satyr playing disguise, but he was trying to lure more people to his island. And so he played along and he played the dumb beast. And again, it is humanizing and adding depth to these characters that were previously just villains. Polyphemus has not had an easy life himself. His goats his sheep gets killed by Odysseus, and then he gets blinded, and then he gets blamed for the whole encounter. And like it's this whole thing. Like obviously, probably not a great guy, but he is a lot more humanized in this than he is in a lot of instances, especially the book. So I think that this is again a incredible way to adapt the book because it's not the same story. It's not exactly the same. But honestly, it is an incredible way to do it. And if we're not going to get a shot for shot adaptation, then I am so glad that we are getting this because it is so good. Genuinely. I love this show so much. What else is there to talk about with these 2 episodes? That is it for my thoughts. If you guys have any thoughts, please be sure to leave them down in the comments down below. And let me know. There will be a poll if you watch this on Spotify. Please answer the poll and tell me who is or which character is your absolute favorite from this point. Percy, Annabeth, Grover, Clarice. Who is your favorite character from these 2 episodes? I want to hear from you guys. And if you guys have any more thoughts about these episodes or the show in general, please be sure to leave them down in the comments down below. Hopefully I can continue to make more episodes. My main job is getting a little bit busier this time of year, but hopefully I'll be able to make episodes until we get done with the season for the next 3 weeks. That's kind of my goal, is to get 3 more episodes out, 1 episode a week about an episode of the show coming out. As you guys have probably seen, I got sick and Christmas happened and all that stuff. So I wasn't able to put out an episode last week, but my goal is to put out 3 more episodes for 3 more weeks. But we'll see what happens. A little bit of other nerdy stuff that I have liked recently. I watched the first half of Stranger Things. I haven't watched the second half yet. I've heard mixed reviews on the second part, and by now the finale is out too. So I've been religiously staying away from any spoilers on that. I've been like Neo in the Matrix, just dodging spoilers. But that has kind of been, I'm really excited to watch that. Me and a couple of friends have been watching that since it started coming out. So I'm really excited to watch that with them on Saturday. And then the other thing that I'm really excited for, or that I really loved, was Avatar Fire and Ash. Avatar Fire and Ash is an incredible movie. It is a 9 out of 10. It definitely has its problems. It is not a perfect movie by any means, and I do think that it has its problems, and I understand why some people do not enjoy it as much as I did, but honestly, I loved the first 2 Avatar movies. They're in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, both of them, and so this movie was right up my alley because it really did take the parts from the previous Avatar movies and turn them into just an incredible film. Made me laugh, it made me cry. The spoiler alert, there's a part where a character is contemplating self-harm and he inevitably decides to not, and then he is later joined by a few other characters, and that part made me absolutely bawl my eyes out. I love that scene. It is one of the most impactful and moving scenes that I have seen in a movie in a long time. There are some hilarious parts, but again, this movie is not without its issues. And one of the biggest issues is that it is highly derivative of the last 2 Avatars. And if you did not like the Avatar Way of Water because it was like the first Avatar, then you probably really won't like this movie. But I really enjoyed it. I think that there were enough differences and there was enough changes to make it a very incredible spectacle. Like, it was a spectacle like no other. Watching this in 3D or in IMAX is a must because it's just amazing. Like, James Cameron is a master at his craft. He has made 3 of the highest grossing movies of all time, and it's clear why. Because these are spectacles. Like, this is the most beautiful world that I have ever seen. Besides our own, like, our world is incredibly beautiful, but Pandora is incredible. the people there, the places, like the Navi people are amazing. The Metcaina are amazing. The whales, like all of it, it's just so beautiful. And there's a scene in this movie where, actually, I'm not going to spoil it, but there there is a scene with a certain flying creature and fire behind that flying creature, and I want a poster of that on my wall. Like I just want that because it is such incredible film. Like the filmmaking is incredible, but it is also, the story is wonderful. There are parts of this that are just absolutely beautiful. The so, some of the complexity of the story is so cool, with Neytiri's arc, with Jake's arc, with like their whole family is so fun to watch, and it's so fun to watch them grow and continue to adapt and evolve into better characters and more fun characters. I just absolutely love watching their whole family. I think that it is so fun. Anyway, thank you guys for staying around and listening to me yap about Avatar and about Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I'm going to continue to do this, and I love you guys so much. It has been such a wonderful year. 2025 was amazing. I'm starting to lose my voice again. I'm just working back into it after completely losing my voice with being sick. So I'm going to probably end the podcast here, but thank you guys so much for listening. You guys are the best community on the internet, and I am so grateful that I have made so many new friends through this podcast and that I have got to meet some amazing people. 2026 is going to be even bigger. So be sure to like if you like the video. Be sure to leave us a rating on Spotify. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media pages at the Oracle Podcast. You guys are absolutely amazing. Be sure to leave a comment and tell me what you think. It really helps out, and you guys are the best. And that has been your prophecy.